In this video, I will describe and list the portion of the population that are Buddhist in various countries. Buddhism emerged in the 4th century BC in northwestern India. Buddhism then spread throughout India with the rise of the Maurya Empire. By the 1st century AD, Buddhism had spread into Central Asia. By 300 AD, Buddhism had spread into China along the Silk Road. By 600 AD, Buddhism had spread to Korea and Vietnam from China, and into Myanmar from India. By the 9th century, Buddhism had spread to the Khmer Empire, modern-day Cambodia, and also Tibet. By 1000, Buddhism had spread to Laos and Japan, and the Buddhist presence in Central Asia was mostly gone. By 1200, Buddhism had spread to Mongolia, and most of the Buddhist presence in India had gone away. By 1600, the Buddhist presence in northern India and Nepal, as well as northwest China, was mostly gone. There are 3 major divisions of Buddhism: Mahayana Buddhism in China and Japan, Theravada Buddhism in Southeast Asia, and Tibetan Buddhism in Bhutan, Tibet, and Mongolia. Places that ultimately receive Buddhism from Central Asia are Mahayanan, while places that receive Buddhism from Eastern India are Theravadan. Countries in red have some significant Buddhist presence, but a Buddhist minority. Countries in orange have a Buddhist majority. Places in yellow are areas where there was, historically, a significant Buddhist presence, but there is a negligible Buddhist population today. There is an overlap of countries with a significant portion of irreligion in their populations and a significant Buddhist population. The countries in red have both significant portions of irreligious and Buddhist populations. The countries in yellow have significant Buddhist populations, and the countries in purple only have significant irreligious populations. There is also a large overlap of countries with a significant portion of traditional religions in their population and Buddhism. The countries in red have both significant portions of traditional religions and Buddhism in their population. Countries in orange have only significant traditional religious populations, and countries in yellow only have significant Buddhist populations. I explain in more detail what traditional religions are in my other video. In China, 15% of the population are Buddhist, mostly Mahayanan. In North Korea, 5% of the population are Buddhist, mostly Mahayanan. In South Korea, 15% of the population are Buddhist, mostly Mahayanan. In Mongolia, 50% of the population is Buddhist, mostly Tibetan. In Japan, 30% of the population is Buddhist, primarily Zen or Mahayanan. In Vietnam, 15% of the population is Buddhist, mostly Mahayanan. In Taiwan, 30% of the population is Buddhist, mostly Mahayanan. In India, around 1% of the population is Buddhist, mostly Theravadan. In Nepal, around 10% of the population are Buddhist, mostly Tibetan. In Sri Lanka, 70% of the population are Buddhist, mostly Theravadan. In Bangladesh, 1% of the population are Buddhist, mostly Theravadan. In Bhutan, 75% of the population are Buddhist, mostly Tibetan. In Laos, 65% of the population are Buddhist, mostly Theravadan. In Malaysia, 20% of the population are Buddhists, mostly Mahayanan. Most Buddhists in Malaysia are ethnic Chinese. In Singapore, about 30% of the population are Buddhists, mostly Mahayanan. Buddhists are mostly ethnic Chinese. In Myanmar, around 90% of the population are Buddhist, mostly Theravadan. In Thailand, 94% of the population are Buddhists, mostly Theravada. In Cambodia, 98% of the population are Buddhists, mostly Theravada. In Hong Kong, 25% of the population are Buddhist, mostly Mahayanan. In Australia, 3% of the population are Buddhist, mainly a mix of sects. Buddhists are mostly among the recent immigrants from East Asia. Cambodia is the country with the highest portion of the population Buddhist, with 98%. Cambodia is primarily Theravadan Buddhist. The country with the highest proportion of Mahayana Buddhist is Taiwan at 30%. The country with the highest proportion Tibetan Buddhist is Bhutan at 75%. There aren't really many Buddhist countries with a mix of denominations. The areas on the maps marked as Buddhist should not be taken as Buddhist-dominated or primarily Buddhist. The maps are only of areas with some general Buddhist presence. The Buddhist proportion of the population on the areas in the map could be as low as 15%. Mahayanan is the largest Buddhist sect, followed by Theravada, with Tibetan third. However, while Mahayanan is the largest, in no country where the primary form of Buddhism is Mahayanan do Mahayanan Buddhists make up a majority of the population. In contrast, in most countries, primarily Theravada, Buddhists make up a solid majority of the population. Only 2 countries have a Tibetan Buddhist majority, Bhutan and Mongolia. In Bhutan, they are a large majority of the population, while in Mongolia, they are roughly half. The link for my video on traditional religions will be in the description. This sums up my video on Buddhism. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave your thoughts in the comments section. I'd be happy to hear anything you have to say, even if it's just a cool video.